Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking a quick look here at Cardano, seeing what's going on. We got a lot of requests for this one, and as we can see from yesterday's candlestick close, today has been a pretty significant green candle there. We had this pullback, this retracement after we lost that trend line, and the price just keeps going up. So this is awesome. We're going to talk a little bit about retracement, what areas we could expect the price to pull back to, and obviously how much further up this could go. There is some liquidity, of course, here in the previous range, upwards of about, 35 to 37, 38 cents. That could very well get swept here soon. You never truly know, but cool thing is we're above all three moving averages. We're looking pretty good. Okay, so awesome stuff here. Again, if you're new to the channel, I'd love to teach people to trade. Hope you can learn something here today. If you do want to become a better trader though, cryptocash.tech is a site. I provide trade signals that look a little something like this here, where we basically just considerably take a lot of profits here. Injective, we took 202%. Solana, we took a short here yesterday from Solana. We took a good 32% there. SUI 52 in the last 8 days here. So the last 24 hours have been a pretty good profitable experience. I'm going to put Cardano on our map here too soon and see if it might be worth taking a long or a short. As a result of this video, of course, we'll see if whichever direction is going to be appropriate. We can specify though that this has been a fairly overextended situation here. We take a look, we hit a 9 on TD sequential leading into this previous resistance. Price consistently retested that level and eventually broke. So overall, not in bad shape here, but also overextended too. So let's take a look and see what that looks like normally. So we go back a ways. I've evaluated this coin a few times in the past. We take a look, of course, at the RSI when it gets over 70. Last time it was up over 70, the price action was right here at about 32 cents. And until it came back down the RSI, it came all the way up to about 34, 35 cents. So this guy right here is essentially what 5 days of over 70 in the RSI looks like. Same thing here as well. We can see we got this, which is part of this 5 days of consolidation. Okay, so basically, if we kind of compare those two things together, we can kind of note that we are due for a correction here soon, right? But we also got to recognize this upper liquidity level here and the fact that we broke it through this resistance zone is a pretty stark reality that we should continue higher too, okay? Again, me personally, I'm not much of a breakout trader. I don't love trading in breakouts. This is somewhat of a breakout, and we want to be careful of taking a trade right now when it's possibly too late. I'd much rather wait for a pullback to a key level support. So we'll talk about that here. In fact, let's take a quick look at the 4-hour and see what this is telling us here. Elliott Wave does specify that if this is the top, we're going to come back to 0.382, 0.5, or 0.618. Those are really common retracement zones, honestly. It's really, really normal for the price to want to pull back to those levels. And mainly because 0.5, that's a halfway point. What goes up must come down. If it's still bullish, it'll bounce off that roughly half point estimate. So right here, we can see at about basically 30 cents, 30 and a half, that we're likely to see a bounce at that level. And again, that is if this is the top. This could very well continue higher, but you got to recognize that. Okay. We also want to take a look at some fair value and understand that there is a fair value gap that was just filled. There's a previous lower one. We don't want to worry about that too much unless Bitcoin has a really bad day. You got to keep in mind today, Bitcoin corrected itself, but it's rallied back up from 34.2 to 34.8, and there's a good chance that this has a lot to do with it. Okay, so just keep in mind, this coin Cardano, it's notoriously followed Bitcoin fairly close, but the last few weeks of trading, it's totally done its own thing, and that's a really, really good sign. Most altcoins that can perform independent of Bitcoin are those that are likely to continue to progress and do much better without supporting Bitcoin. And this is a good sign too. This really implies that a lot of alts are doing well right now. Surprisingly, with altcoin dominance being fairly low, it's nice to see coins like this taking off, right? So we got a few outliers, and this is one of them. Okay, so let's go ahead and summarize here as well. We're below 50 and below 70, over 50 on the RSI. When you're in this range, it's always a sweet spot to be able to stay. And it allows for us to be able to continue to do nice things. So hopefully the price goes sideways a little bit longer, kind of works itself into a little wedge, and then breaks out to the upside. And then we can get that breakthrough 70 here with a nice period of consolidation prior to. If we break through 70 right now, it'd be an overextension, and it may not be ideal to be able to sustain that price action. If we take a look at volume though, the significant amount of volume here is really helping us keep this price in place. Take a look at how much volume we've seen since October 30th. Pretty much maintaining an average above that level. Even when the price comes down, the volume is still staying high. It's a great sign. Okay, so ultimately this coin is more likely than not to increase moving forward. But if we were to look just say at the daily and kind of specify, if it were to pull back to some extreme levels, we could see somewhere in the range of 0.5, 0.382 there. Just say roughly at about 28 to 30 cents. Okay, this is kind of a round number. I'm rounding up a little bit there, but generally speaking, 0.28, 0.29, those are areas we could see retested if the price decides to pull back. But if you take a look at the volume and we zoom out a little bit in the volume here and kind of look, we have a lot of volume here at about 29 cents. So I think the probability of the price going any lower than 29 cents is pretty unrealistic. Okay. Again, I think it's probably fairly unrealistic to even see that price point even happen, but it is still a potential reality, and we got to be mindful of that. This coin is overextended, and it's due for correction. If it were to correct itself, this would be the most common place there. So my money is on this 0.382 level here. I think we're going to see something along these lines. But what I'll do is I'll post this on my Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. I have playout charts look a little something like this. Speaking of Twitter, Telegram, and Discord, take a look at our results when you get a chance too. If you want to be part of this, it's a really awesome experience. We are limiting the amount of members here too, so keep in mind we're only going to allow a certain amount of premium members here soon. So you may want to get in there as soon as you can here, of course. But generally speaking, I'll go ahead and post this up here online if you want to go ahead and check it out. Thanks so much for watching. Hope this was beneficial. Like, subscribe, follow if you could, please. Greatly appreciate your help. Hope you have a good rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.